Will you all please rise and remove your hats and playing of the Star-Spangled Banner by the Royal Scarlet Band and Chorus. Thank you, Sydney, for that beautiful rendition. No, you see. Good evening, and welcome to the Richfield Park Junior Senior High School Class of 2021 graduation ceremony. We couldn't ask for a better evening to celebrate and send off these students. I think it's only appropriate that the weather should be this nice. I think it's symbolic of the calm after the storm that we've weathered for the past 16 months. That storm has left us a little bruised, a little battered, a little scarred, but at the same time has prepared us for future storms that we'll surely encounter at some other point in our lives. Seniors, this year has taught you a lot about resiliency. The challenges you have experienced are unlike anything you have faced before. Loss, isolation, uncertainty, but look at you now. Ready, more ready than ever to take on the world. Now let's get after it. Please bear with me as I have a number of people to recognize and thank. This is going to take a little while. First, this year marks the first graduating class of students who attended and participated in the early college program. The program was started in partnership with Bergen Community College and allows students to work toward their 2-year associate's degree while still attending high school. They spent half their day in Richfield Park and half their day at Bergen Community. These 8 students are the first to graduate high school at the same time they are receiving their associate's degree from Bergen Community College. For those 8 students, please stand and be recognized. There's going to be a lot of audience participation on this, so please pay attention. As I reflected on this past year and all of its difficulties, it hit me how difficult it must have been for those in the armed forces. Being stationed across the country, or in some cases even around the world, away from family, with all of the uncertainty and fears associated with the pandemic, must have been difficult, to say the least, while having to remain focused and vigilant in guarding our nation's security. We have 2 students graduating who will be entering the military. They are identifiable by the military branch skulls they are wearing this evening. Will those students please stand as well? And all other active duty military or veterans in our audience or as guests, please stand and be recognized for your service. To our first responders and healthcare workers who put aside their own personal safety throughout the pandemic and on a daily basis to take care of us and our loved ones, including any students who plan to pursue these noble careers or related field, audience and guests as well, please stand and be recognized. our essential workers, the grocery store workers, delivery people, gas station attendants, restaurant workers, etc. Boy, do I have a renewed respect for what you do. Thank you for showing up every day to provide the services we rely on and all too often take for granted. Anyone who's an essential worker, please stand and be recognized. I've had the privilege, and I mean privilege, for the past 32 years to work with some of the finest administrators and teachers anywhere. This team truly cares about our students as people first and foremost, and I am honored and humbled to have had the opportunity to work alongside each of you, past and present. I would do another 32 years with all of you in a heartbeat. All our past and present teachers, and I know we have some in the audience out there, and all the ones behind me, set an example here. Please stand and be recognized. An extra special shout out to my fellow retirees, Mr. Benny, Mr. Reeves, Ms. Haraka, and Ms. Canzano. Those four people combined account for over 100 years of service to this school district and the communities of Richfield Park and Little Ferry. That deserves a hand. To all the parents, current and past, who have entrusted your most prized possessions to us to nurture and educate, thank you for sharing them with us. Thank you for all of your support and for making these two communities the terrific places that they are to live and to raise children. I look behind me and I say, damn, you do a darn good job. As part of my last thank yous, I would like to share just a little bit of my story. My journey in Richfield Park started 52 years ago when my parents bought their house at 124 Main Street, where they still live today. It's easy to recognize by the meticulous lawn my dad, at 82 years old, still keeps. I was 4 years old. We moved in on New Year's Eve. I remember being sick with a fever. I remember it was pouring. It was a miserable night. Not a precursor of what was to come. I started school the next year, attending Lincoln School, grades K through 8, and then became a Scarlet, grades 9 through 12, graduating in 1983. I returned to the building in 1988 as a coach and a substitute teacher, and I've been here ever since. This community in this district has literally been my home my entire life. To all those parents and teachers who helped raise me and mostly kept me in line, to those who later put their faith in me as an educator, and to all of my colleagues and students who shared my journey and contributed to my story, who came to school every day, not work, to school every day, and that's an important distinction. I thank you for making every day, almost every day, a great day to be a Scarlet. So I thank you all. Lastly, I spend a lot of time thanking a lot of different people at a lot of different events. But there are a few I don't thank nearly enough. my wife and my children, for all that they sacrificed over these 32 years to allow me to do this work. It's a lot of nights, attending events they really didn't want to go to, and a lot of missed, cherished moments at home that I know were very important. And my parents, I'm a first-generation American from what I like to call a Jamaican background. My father, who quit school at age 14 to go to work, left Germany on his own at the age of 19. My Dominican mother, that's right, from McDonald's, came here when she was 16, sent by her parents to live with her older sister. My mom started high school here, but with no prior English and no ESL classes. Thank you very much, Miss Albert. To help her along, she dropped out of high school and eventually became a beautician. My dad trained as a baker and became a darn good one. Neither had a high school education, but both knew and taught their 3 sons the importance of education, the importance of hard work, respect, the value of friends and family, and doing things the right way. There's no shortcut that's worth compromising the right way. They were hard on us and created an expectation that we would do better than they did. Mom and Dad, I know I never expressed it enough. Thank you. I hope I've made you proud. Mom and Dad, would you please come up to the podium? Though neither of you finished high school, having spent 52 years as part of this community, raising 3 Scarlets, we'll call it 2.5, the youngest one went to PC, mistake, and helping to raise many more, I think it's safe to say you've earned enough credits through life experience to be awarded an honorary high school diploma from the Junior Senior High School. Just to read for everyone what it says. Richfield Park High School. This certifies that Evelyn and Wilhelm Koenig have been found worthy in character and commitment to education, and therefore is awarded this honorary diploma. Congratulations. Thank you for bearing with me through all that. A little bit selfish on my part, but it needed to be done. Seniors, your journey really begins now. You've been given a strong foundation by your family and this school community, so now it's your turn. Go out and make them proud. Thank you. I would now like to call to the microphone Salutatorian Rphs Flores for the salutatorian address.
evening, everyone. There's something about the class of 2021 that screams exceptionalism. Just look at where we're headed. Our valedictorian, John Beltran, is bound for Johns Hopkins. I'm bound for Columbia, and we've got acceptances to Cornell, NYU, Villanova, UC Berkeley, Howard, Fordham, and Virginia Tech, just to name a few. Now, I'd be understating our achievements if I limited them to academics, however. In our graduating class, we have our very own Division I track star, Mia Martinez, If I ever told you weren't that fast, I stand embarrassingly corrected. Our nationally acclaimed opera singer, Sky Kim, our indomitable wrestling sensation, Kayla Zapatelli, our Broadway actor in the making, Ian Concepcion. We're an exceptional bunch, a unique bunch, an authentic bunch. I've had a lot of interesting nicknames in high school given to me by equally interesting people. Lars, Larry, Pipsqueak, Anglebiter, Kiddo, Quark, Goldfish, Pippi Longstocking, Scholastic Sally, Wabungus, Miss Fuentes, and Madman President. So it may come as no surprise that the questions of who am I, what am I, and what is my authentic self have been very prevalent to me throughout high school. Teenage existential crises are not unique to me, I know, but bear with me. In retrospect, I find it hilarious as a fresh-faced freshman, I thought I had life all figured out. I'd study my brains off for 4 years, no distractions, and remain calm, cool, collected, and constant. What I ultimately learned at the end of these 4 years is that change is the only constant. I mean, just look at my hair. It's pretty hard to believe this used to be long, silky, black, and down below my waist. Even harder to believe is that 4 years ago, I was a socially awkward, stuttering mess who couldn't make eye contact for the life of me. Yet ironically, when I did speak, I made sure I let everybody know I thought it was hot stuff. People would ask, hey, you got some kind of God complex or something? And I found it laughable. Me, a God complex, I'm not even religious. Since then, I've inevitably and thankfully come across people and experiences that have put me in my place, stopped me in my tracks, and humbled me. Most notably, Mr. Zachary, who was never short of jokes about my short stature. Always yelling, hey, Pipsqueak, you don't meet the height requirement for this class! But in all seriousness, while he made Algebra 2 a living nightmare of confusion and runs AP Calculus like it's the Navy, the unmatched intensity of Mr. Zachary's classes made me more comfortable with being uncomfortable, swallowing my pride, and accepting the fact that I am not infallible. Now, on the note of my fallibility, I'd like to circle back to that original plan of burying my head in the books for 4 years, since it didn't take long for me to realize that this wouldn't cut it. As most of you know, we see a cookie-cutter idealized image of high school. Bear with me for a moment. Idealized image of high school plastered in everything from movies to TV shows to song lyrics. You're supposed to be charismatic, impeccably smart, a varsity athlete, and have devilish good looks all in one package without giving it a moment's thought. In my freshman year, I tried to own up to this incredibly baseless image of perfection. Tried to have as large a friend group as possible, and earn that meaningless yet oh-so mystical title of popularity. The biggest joke of all, I even joined winter track, and those were the worst 2 weeks of my life. I'm no athlete. Fast forward to today, and I'm leaving high school with a small group of friends that I can probably count on my fingers. And they were the only people I needed. And at the end of the day, I'm not some suave, charismatic athlete, I'm a nerd. I love coding, I love reading philosophical books, and I love science articles. But for the longest time, I had always felt this intense shame in being vocal about my interests. I'd be painted as pretentious or just plain weird if anyone found out. In my looks, I had forced myself for ages to put on a semblance of femininity I figured was expected of a teenage girl. But thankfully, I failed abysmally, and now I'm standing here graduating with shirt and tie, and happier because of it. On this path towards self-acceptance and confidence, I have no one to thank more than one incredible woman, Mrs. Caruso. An impeccable example of all that an educator should be. Dedicated in the classroom, yes, but even more dedicated to the personal ambitions and struggles of her students. You've been at my side since freshman year, when Module 1 was just an idea, and in helping start the class allowed me to explore my interest in politics without reservation. Thank you for believing that someone as awkward as me could have any leadership potential and would go on to have any comfort with public speaking. Through our work on the yearbook, thank you for supporting my artistic side as well, and giving me confidence in my creativity. You rooted for me in my victories, but what I value most is your unwavering support through my more difficult times, through my struggles with mental health, especially in the uncertainty of this pandemic. Being academically dedicated, it is often hard to believe that I am seen as anything more than a machine or as a grade point average. Thank you for seeing and upholding my humanity above all. Another individual who has also had my back since freshman year has been Mr. Koenig, who, infinitely more important than his title as principal, I have seen as a mentor. From that Green Team meeting back in September of my first year of high school, to incredible support with my college application from late junior year and throughout senior year, you have never failed to show genuine interest in all my endeavors and vouched for me every step of the way throughout my time at Ridgefield Park Junior Senior High School. While I may not entirely understand your overzealousness for all that I do, it is appreciated in its entirety, and I truly believe that support is rooted in our common devotion to the values of ambition and authenticity. Now, of course, I would not be standing here today if not for my mother, Miss Bertha Garcia, who, despite our many conflicts arising from the inevitable cultural gulf between rural Honduras and suburban New Jersey, any fortitude of character I have is thanks to her example. My crazy haircuts, crazy outfits, and matters of personal identity, they may have all come as a shock to you initially, but nothing has been too much for you to surpass generational gaps in order to understand and embrace. You see this goodness and potential in me, and honestly, I don't feel worthy to have someone have so much unwavering faith in me after all my years of mischief, deviance, and disobedience. You have always pushed for me to strive for nothing short of exceptionalism in all that I do, and to pay no mind to the obstacles that may come my way as a result of my race, gender, my status as a child of immigrants, or any other labels. Thanks to your support, I stand here today, coming from generations of Honduran farmhands, as the first person in my family to be attending college. As you always say, si se quiere, se puede. If there's a will, there's a way. Mom, I know I'm not the best at reciprocating, but my apologies for everything, and muchas gracias. I know in standing here before you, my job was to tell you how I got here and what I learned, impart some wisdom even. What I've learned with most certainty is that I've got a lot to learn, and just as much or more to unlearn. One fact I have established, however, our time in this life does not stop to wait. There's absolutely no rewinding, and you must choose quickly whether to take the path most traveled, that of normalcy, conformity, and emulation, or you can walk the path of authenticity. The latter may be difficult, it may even be dangerous for some. You won't please everyone, but you will please those few who will greet you with open arms throughout the journey. Some nights may be lonesome, but at this road's conclusion, I promise you your own happiness. And since you are the only truly permanent person in your own life, what could be more important? Or as Kurt Cobain put it so perfectly, wanting to be someone else is a waste of the person you are. Come as you are.
Mr. Koenig, this one's for you. Mr. Koenig, thank you. Thank you for it all. The past 4 years of high school have truly been better because of you. If you don't know Mr. Koenig, I'll give you a little background. This is a man who has given over 50 years to this community. Not to call him old, but he has dedicated near most of his life to the village of Ridgefield Park. A true RP legend. Serving as principal, his passion to the kids of this high school has went unmatched. As a part of student government, I personally saw Mr. Koenig at near every meeting, not only watching, but encouraging kids to take lead and giving opportunity for them to grow as leaders. You also see him outside every single morning to greet every student that walks through those red doors. Not only is he a principal, but he's a mentor, passing down his knowledge onto all students he comes across every day. Watching him lead this school has inspired many to take action, including myself. Questionably, more important than that has to be his friendship. Mr. Koenig has created important relationships with all students down at 1 Asiasi Drive. He is someone that I'm happy to call my principal, a leader, a mentor, but most importantly, a friend. So Mr. Koenig, as for the class of 2021, we wish you the best with your retirement, and would love to present you with this plaque saying, in great appreciation for your dedication to education for over 30 years, and especially for all the lives you impacted. You took the time to listen, dared us to dream, and always believed in us. Thank you.
I'm so glad I got to go first. Dr. Haynes, sorry. Am I the only one who suffers from allergies? And I'd like to call, thank you, our seniors, thank you. Real heartfelt. Not at a loss for words often, but I'd like to say right now is thank you. I'd like to now call to the microphone our valedictorian for the valedictorian address, John Beltran.
We have fallen more times than we have gotten up. We have failed more times than we have succeeded. We have cried more times than we have laughed. We have let ourselves down more times than we have made ourselves proud. Life is a roller coaster, or so I'm told. I'm terrified of heights. To be quite honest, I used to have many fears. Public speaking, physical confrontation, the dark, Shrek the Ogre, and Mr. Bouchard. However, the greatest obstacle my apologies. Sorry about that, technical difficulties. I'm glad to say these things no longer frighten me. I now look at Mr. Bouchard and am proud to be able to call him my teacher and will forever cherish all the life lessons he bestowed upon me. However, the greatest obstacle I had to overcome is my fear of failing. Failing as a son, as a brother, as a student, as a friend, and ultimately failing myself. Collins' dictionary defines atychiphobia as the abnormal and persistent fear of failure, the degree that it has negative effects on the pattern of one's life. Although fear is a basic aspect of human nature, we cannot let it govern our lives. From the moment we take our first breath to the day we take our last, we are constantly taking risks. Whether we are taking our first steps or learning to drive, failure is imminent. No one is born knowing the stove is hot. We are simply told to stay away. While a rational person would adhere to such a warning, we are far from normally functioning human beings. So we touch the stove, we burn ourselves, and we start to cry. Despite not being a good one, this is a risk that many of us have taken. Over the last 4 years, we have taken countless risks time and time again. Between attempting to make friends and trying out for a team, we have stared rejection in the face on several occasions. As teenagers, We long to be accepted, not only by our peers, but also by society as a whole. Doing our best to fit in, we keep up with the latest trends, wearing designer clothes and owning the newest phones. Although one may genuinely choose to look or act a certain way as a result of personal preference, 9 times out of 10, we choose to live our lives based on how we will be perceived by others. Not wanting to risk being branded an outcast, we do our best to maintain this image of ourselves that might be appealing to others. We elect to stay in our comfort zones to avoid being frowned upon or possibly rejected. There's this constant fear hovering over us of failing as a result of attempting to be different or trying something new. Better yet, as a result of taking risks. Even if we stand alone, we must be willing to put it all on the line when it comes to staying true to ourselves and striving for success. For too long, I held myself back. For too long, I stayed content. For too long, I feared taking a risk and failing because of it. I, as many of us have done, established a comfort zone and limited myself to it. I deprived myself of the sense of freedom and opportunity because I was afraid of falling short in front of my peers. Despite knowing I was capable of going the distance, I always stopped myself before reaching the finish line. By refusing to risk it all, I remained in the same place I had been, simply satisfied with my results. The path to success is not a straight line, but in fact one consisting of numerous failures. At some point during these last 48 months, this finally got through to me, opening up my eyes. I took a risk the first day I entered this building, when I went up to select individuals and said, "Hi, I'm the new kid. Want to be my friend?" I can safely say that is one of the best risks I've ever taken, as today I graduate alongside people I am proud to call my brothers and sisters, who I intend to stay in touch with after high school. I took a risk in taking AP Calc after struggling for quite some time in Algebra 2. After 10 brutally long months, where lessons felt like hour-long lectures and exams drained me of my will to live that day, I'm beyond grateful I chose to take this class. Despite some hiccups towards the end, and a temporary average of a 27, I would take that risk 100 times over. Don't worry, Mr. Zachary, I'll do better next time. Of all the risks one can take, I strongly believe the biggest risk is choosing to be yourself. By disregarding society's expectations and refusing to abide by the social norm, you are risking your image, relationships, and most importantly, your future. Every risk you take has at least one consequence and one reward. Whether you choose to simply ignore the risk and carry on with life is up to you. However, I've learned that by choosing to not act to avoid the possibility of failing, you are ultimately failing yourself by not even trying to begin with. That being said, take risks in life. Go skydiving. Ride that roller coaster. Meet new people. Challenge yourself. Attempt a hobby or sport. Apply for your dream job or school. Ask out that special someone. Pursue your passion no matter how far-fetched it may seem. Travel the world and leave no door unopened. Speak your truth. Leave nothing unsaid. If you've taken away nothing from this speech thus far, I kindly ask that you listen closely to what I'm about to say. A wise man once said the phrase, "Ready, aim, fire," is worded incorrectly. It should in fact be written as "ready, fire, aim." One must first ready the shot. Next, they should fire it. After the shot has been fired, then one should take aim and designate where the target is. We spend too much time focused on where the shot is going to land, and sometimes we don't end up taking it at all. We let the consequences of our actions stop us from carrying out a task before we have even started. Don't ask yourself what if. Simply say it is what it is. Don't worry about aiming before firing. You can always readjust the shot after taking it. However, if you spend too much time worrying about where it's going to go, it may be too late to take it at all. Ready, fire, aim. Take the shot, take the risk. No matter the outcome, do not let the fear of failure hold you back. I'd like to take a moment to thank everyone for their constant love and support throughout this never-ending journey. This is in no way a one-man job and does in fact take a village. To my family, thank you for being my motivators and keeping me going when I felt as though the whole world is falling apart. To my friends and fellow classmates, thank you for being trustworthy and reliable, always being right there by my side. You guys truly made the last 4 years a bit more bearable. To my teachers, thank you for guiding me both in and out of the classroom, for always pushing me to become the best version of myself. Although I could spend hours thanking every single individual who has helped me get to where I am today, there is one person in particular who cannot go unrecognized. Over the last 3 years, I was fortunate enough to have this guardian angel by my side, which played a major role in my success. Whether it was helping me with my schedule, emailing colleges, or simply making sure my graduation requirements were in 5 minutes before the deadline so I could stand here today, she has done it all. I have said it time again and time again. But one more time, Kendra. Miss Ameda, you have truly been a blessing. I cannot put into words how thankful and grateful I am for all that you have done for me. Not only did you assist me with physical tasks, but you also provided me with the mental support that every burnt-out high school student needs. You had faith in me and told me everything would be okay, even when I didn't believe myself and felt like throwing in the towel. Even when I was too busy to reach out, you made sure to check in with me just to see how I was doing. You kept me on track, kept me motivated, and most importantly, you kept me sane. No matter what anyone says, Miss Ameda is and will always be the best counselor in my heart. As I've told her 100 times before, and will gladly do 100 more. Thank you for everything, Miss Ameda. I'm truly honored to be graduating alongside such bright and exceptional individuals. Congratulations to the class of 2021, who will forever be remembered for their determination, resilience, and most importantly, their ability to lay it all on the line in the face of opposition. You all took a risk freshman year, and today you see it through. We are so much more than some seniors who survived the pandemic, and we will not be remembered as such. We are risk takers. We are fighters. We are Scarlets. And it's a great day to be a Scarlet. Thank you.
Now invite everyone to enjoy some selections from our Royal Scarlet Band and Chorus, Rainbow Connection, which will be sung by Ian Concepcion. My Way, be sung by Nathan Henriquez, and then not listed in the program, but to be performed by the band, Smooth Operator by Sade.
Songs about rainbows and what's on the other side. Rainbows are visions, but only illusions. Rainbows have nothing to hide. So we've been told, and some choose to believe it, but I know they're wrong. Wait and see. sweet sound that calls the young sailor. The voice might be one and the same. I've heard it too many times to ignore it. It's something that I'm supposed to be. Someday we'll find it, a rainbow connection, lovers, dreamers, and me. I've lived a life that's full. I've traveled each and every highway, and more, much more than this, I did it my way. Regrets, I've had a few. Then again, too few to mention. I did what I had to do and saw it through without exemption. I planned each charted course, each careful step along the byway, and more, much more than this, I did my way. Yes, there were times, I'm sure you knew, when I bit off more than I could chew. But through it all, when there was doubt, I ate it up and spit it out. I faced it all, and I stood tall and did it my way. Laughed and cried, I've had my fill, my share of losing. And now, as tears subside, I find it all so amusing to think I did all that, and may I say, not in a shy way. Oh no, not me. I did it my way. For what is a man? What has he got? If not himself, then he has not to say the things he truly feels, and not the words of one who kneels. The record shows I took the blows and did it my way. The record shows I took the blows
This next speaker is a person who is new to our district this year, but who has in a very short time made a very significant impact on the entire district. He is visionary, he has an incredibly high educational IQ, a get-it-done attitude, and he values teamwork and promotes excellence in the work environment. It's with great pride that I introduce our District Director of Curriculum, Instruction, and Operations, and current Acting Superintendent, Dr. Barry Haynes.
So, Mr. Coney, you were not wrong. I mean, at this point, the program is a bit intimidating, so we'll talk about the order next time. I'm first going to introduce our Board of Education members. Christopher Gibbons, President. Dave Packer, Vice President. Bernard Gomes. Dr. Ricardo Martinez. Mary O'Neill. Orlando Rodriguez. Robert Keenan. Thomas Purcell. You may be seated. Thank you. We have some dignitaries with us also. Frank Scarafil, Representative O'Terry, Natasha Hernandez, Grant School Elementary Principal, Jason Cotta, Roosevelt School Principal, Dr. Stephen Ferraro, Lincoln School Principal, Diane Freeman, Middle School Principal, Mr. and Mrs. Coney again, thank you for gracing us with your presence, and Melissa Cobbins, the new high school principal. And on to the address. Well, I want to look at students a little bit. This address is for the families and the students this year. It's all relative. To appreciate today, we have to go back to yesterday. Actually, we have to go back to 2 years ago, to a graduation that was taken for granted for its simple normality. 2 years ago, students were seated where you're seated. The administrators, teachers, and Board of Education, they were seated where they're seated. Families just like you today were in the stands, and the weather was probably pretty similar. But those students 2 years ago could never have imagined a world as beautiful as the world that you can imagine. Because those students didn't have the experiences that you had. Last year, actually 15 months ago, we were all barred from going to school. Schools shut down globally, and last year too was much different. Families were limited. Everyone sitting next to you, around you, or waving to you from the stands, at that time they were socially distant, wearing masks, or barred from coming because families could only bring 2 people. Within our schools, we know that the best education is a social education. When you are in a room with your peers having a great conversation, talking with your teacher who is guiding and nurturing you to deeper understanding or more complex questions or problems, or as we like to say in education, in productive struggles. That's how we as social creatures learn best. That's how you develop a love for lifelong learning. But last year, you were confined to the 4 walls of your bedroom, or your study, or your kitchen. There was no one around, except on a 10-inch screen, and it felt totally isolating. Let's all agree it really hurt. It damaged education, because education at its heart is a social process. But contrast that where you find yourself today, sitting next to your friends, sitting in the company of your class with your families, enjoying the cheers and well-earned pride of a community that is so supportive of you on this amazingly beautiful day. Go ahead, look it up. This is for them. You guys can appreciate the fellowship and the kinship that you feel for each other so much more because it was denied to you for so long. Some say, thank goodness the pandemic is over. We can get back to our lives and forget about this miserable experience. I say, don't forget how miserable last year was. Because by remembering it, you are able to better appreciate the simple beauties and joys of today. Savor the sunset more today. Last year's sunset was different. Kiss your parents when they least expect it, because last year you weren't able to. Hug your abuela a bit tighter today, because last year it wasn't possible. Say thank you to your teachers for their time, their passion, their encouragement, because last year you were cut off from them. When you're standing next to your friends after graduation today, be kind to them. Tell them how much they mean to you and how much you really appreciate them. And I need to repeat that again. When you're standing next to your friends after graduation, be kind to them. Tell them how much they really mean to you and how much you appreciate them. Even when they're goofy or they're fickle or they make you mad, because last year you couldn't be around them. This year, this evening, sitting here next to your friends with your family watching proudly with you, with the band playing, and with the beautiful summer air, this graduation, your graduation, is something supremely beautiful. However, you can only achieve this supreme beauty because you've been through dark yesterdays. Let those dark days serve the purpose of allowing you to appreciate and see the beauty around you, the beauty in others, and the beauty within you yourself. Leave this graduation today understanding that you are special and unique in part because of the challenging times that we've endured. Combine these experiences with part of the person that you are today and part of the person that you will become tomorrow. Embrace these experiences, all of them. Make them part of who you are, and take this opportunity to become the best version of yourself as you look at things around you differently. And as you build a richer, more beautiful, more meaningful life. Best wishes to you, class of 2021, on this your graduation day, as you march forward into your future, making us all proud, because it's all relative.
Thank you, Dr. Haynes. We now call upon President of the Board of Education, Mr. Christopher Gibbons, for his remarks to the graduating class.
Congratulations on this journey you're about to take throughout your life. One of the most important values of your life in this high school. Honesty and ethics. And all the teachers you had will guide you in the memory that you have with them in this high school. And the scarlets that you will always be. So congratulations, class of 2021. And congratulations to the rest of you.
Dr. Haynes, members of the Board of Education, I certify to you that all of these students seated behind me have met the graduation requirements as set forth by the New Jersey Department of Education and the Richfield Park Board of Education. Ms. Herbst, please come to the podium.
Zoreen Ben Haldane. Mayar Alvarone. Angelica Freund. Kayla Gonzalez. Emily Locarno. Diploma to be presented by Director of Special Services, Mrs. Gonzalez. Julianne Nguyen. Alessia Adele Pisa. Jasmine Leah Martinez. Diploma to be presented by Trustee Martinez. Jade Alexa Martinez. Diploma to be presented by Trustee Martinez. Mia Angeles Ann Martinez. Diploma to be presented by Trustee Martinez. Alanis Michelle Beltre Vallet. Angelica Marlene. Jamina Vidal Tumaco. Mayeli Tumas. Marlene Ovalle. Isabella Marie Medina Garcia. Janina Maureen Seanzo Intoy. Neely Sage Gatto. Samantha Alfonsi. Jadis Maria Cava. Patricia Batista. Maria Bouchard. Diploma to be presented by her father, Mr. Bouchard. Sarah Romero. Jade Ariana Fuentes. Larissa Flores. Curly Diane Grande. Hannah Kang. Danya Mako. Valerie Mendieta. Jillian Lane Miranda. Yare Monday Saltos. Maria Nicole Mercola. Valentina Marin Lopez. Mandy Lynn. Sierra Jones. Ariana Gonzalez. Ashley Delang. Karina Diaz. Kayla Lynn Bradley. Sophia Morin. Victoria Rose Nunez. Jade Maria Palau. Ashley Park. Ashley Ramirez. Lily Elizabeth Roman. Alegna Sampson. Joy Tolentino. Zainab Wasim. Brandon J. Korachich. Hussam Bessam Alamari. Kayla Angeline Zacatelli. Daniela Nicole Torres. Laura Shifu. Justina Salib. Katia Reyes. Evelyn Porcaro. Ranita Kanja. Nicole Osorio. Sophia Mullen. Presented by Trustee Hernandez. May Al-Mutalabi. Yasin Besky. Naomi Castilla. Jade Alexa Castro. Ian Lansangan Concession. Ashanti Jasenia Deschamps. Emily Gomez Rodriguez. Sandra Haddad. Jada Lawrence. Alexis Delfina Rosino. Charles Matthew Lozada. Ayani Ikashima. Brianna Gordon. Carolyn Ileana Ferrer Perez. Vanessa Conversano. Kevin Chittick. Callie Elizabeth Castillo. Oilia Aaliyah Bisbicki. Matthew Benitez. Caleb Esteban Antonio Maldonado. Isabel Carmen Celine Martinez. Christine Artie Mendoza. Vasilisa Nevi Orvich. Kalila Richards. Riley Roman. Sydney Nicole Stedman. Natalie Teneo. Daniela Trabaga Vasquez. Amanda Voorhees. Samantha Torres. Victoria Sullivan. Janice Rosado. Royal Ray Riley. Andrea Ramirez. Elijah Negron. Adrian Meireles. Jade Mejia Liranzo. Alec Manda. Chris Aguila. Sean Burns. Justin Castillo. Sebastian Coloma. Diploma to be presented by Trustee Martinez. Tika K. Rihanna Douglas. Giuliano Escalante. Jomari Randa. Anna Ibrahim. Nurbek Jorabov. Sky Kim. Geronimo Larajando. Avenue Ashraf William Kamel. Awad Irfan. Sebastian Herrera. Shayla Aurora Florentino. Noelia Echeverria Lopez. Delpino Cosme. Roger Chuquiarca Arboleda. John Alexander Caminero. Philip Actacador. Jennifer Lee. Ralph Marinas. Vanessa Mayorga. Emmanuel Mendez. Adrian Paulino Castillo. Isabella Tess Borkelis. Yolitza Reyes. Ryan Robles. Roman. Hans Breton Sassamon. Noah William Velez. Gabriella Sansi. Juan Roca Castro. Jency Reyes. Gabriel Robert Weaver. Nicholas Perez. Michael Paredes Balbuena. Sean Nowns Sean. Ellen Martinez. David Lynch. Suman Akhtar. Joseph Arias. David Castaneda. Stephen Gomez. Alan Frederick Gottlieb. Taylor Fernandez. Gul Tom. Ehab Lakar. Dennis Moore. Stephen Rincon. Kelsey Rojas. Ezekiel Reyes. Ian Marin Montealegre. Richard Kwan. AJ Huddleston. Charles Martin Gross. Michael Garcia. Frankie DiCollegiero. John Beltran. Nick Arciolo. Giovanni Scully. Jacob Watts. Dara Connors. Owen James Glenn. Jordine Lanfranco. Matthew Nielsen. Siam Saftar. Diploma to be presented by Trustee Verselli. Malik Santos. Matthew James Verselli. Diploma to be presented by Trustee Verselli. Rodney Eric Lopez Jr. Nathan Ian Henriquez. Kevin Johnny Tarquino. Daniel Luis Santiago. Anthony Jordan Ortega. Abraham Jaron Lopez. Jay Guzman. Jack Garland. Chris Brito. Abdul Laurent.
Before closing our ceremony, I would be remiss if I didn't thank our senior class advisors, Mr. Papetti and Ms. Feinstein, for putting this program together, Mr. Ramundi and Mr. Canova for all their work providing the live stream and the audio, our band and chorus directors, Mr. Goodman, Mr. Stefanacci, and Ms. Malloy, Mr. Kilmurray, Mr. Gonzalez, Ms. Herbst, and our custodial staff for assisting with the setup and all logistics. And also Mr. Coletto, Mr. Mendez for taking the pictures, which will be made available online. Once we have those uploaded, we will send the link to all of the seniors and their families. It is with great pride that I present to you Richfield Park Junior Senior High School, Class 2021.